Welcome to episode 53 of the Lebanese Physicians podcast. And today we will be discussing a group that was formed called the Medical Campaign. And this was born out of the financial crisis in Lebanon. It's formed by a group of entrepreneurial medical students who are trying to find ways to raise money to continue their education in Lebanon and outside of Lebanon. And we have three representatives of the group today with us. There's more people in this group, but we have three representatives of the group. We have Jessica Badawi, who's a third-year medical student at Université Saint Joseph, which is 3 out of 7 years, basically. And then we've got Amal Masrii, who's a first-year medical student at AUB. But basically, she's done already 3 years of BS, and now she's at first-year medical school the American way. And then we have Jad Boustani, who's a fourth-year medical student at the Université Saint Joseph. Welcome, everyone, to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to start the first question for Jad, but also all of you feel free to chime into this. Can you tell us a bit, Jad, about like the history of, what is going on in Lebanon? What's the financial crisis, and how did it affect you as medical students?
Basically, the financial crisis in Lebanon literally started out of nowhere. Like literally from a day to the other, literally everything like just fell into crumbles. Especially after the explosion of the 4th of August, like we had a lot of things to repair, especially that we live in Beirut, and like a lot of things to pay for, especially our education, without like a lot of funds since our money was stuck in the bank in the first place. So we decided to come up with the medical campaign as a way to actually finance ourselves, our medical school. Why is because like at the end of the day, like our parents, they are paying for like the repairments of the houses that was broken, of the cars, of everything. Like literally, they are not able anymore to pay for everything at the same time. You know what I mean? Everything they worked for like those many years literally just went away like in a glimpse of seconds. You know what I mean? So this is how basically like this is what pushed us first to actually do something. Now, actually, what we did was literally like not planned at all. Like just literally it went from, we weren't expecting the medical campaign to be here today. Like literally just started and it continued, and now here we are talking to you.
Yeah. So before we go into what you did, I'm going to ask now Jessica. So Jessica, so we talked about the financial crisis. I mean, I was there at the time, and then October 2019 came on. The bank stopped giving out money, and all the parents, I guess, who had retired or had planned for retirement, planned to teach their kids, lost all their money. It was very sudden, and the lira lost about, by now, like 95% of its value in like 2 to 3 years. That was crazy. And it's not happened in a lot of other countries. So how did this affect you as probably at that time, maybe you were getting into medical school or you were a first year medical student. So how did this affect you and affect your education as a medical student?
Like, as you know, medical schools in Lebanon are actually expensive, and everything is paid. The tuition is paid like in dollars. Even if it's not 100% in dollars, there's a percentage in dollars, which is too much for families right now. And many students couldn't afford that anymore. And if it comes for us, like we had to balance between our tuitions, our medical life, our student life, and at the same time, our social life. And you know, we like to have fun. We are people that love to have fun, that love to live their life fully. And we are Lebanese students at the end. Like we have this Lebanese part, like we have the Lebanese urge to do everything at the same time. So we had to step in. Like we couldn't rely on our parents and like ask for money or anything anymore. So we had to do a small step, even if it's a small thing, but we had to do it. And that's what we did.
So basically, you felt that it would be a huge burden on your parents to support you through all these medical school years. And Amal, was it the same for you too? Your first year now at AUB, but is it the same for you? Because also AUB tuition is very expensive, and I think at this point a lot of it is in what we call fresh dollars and not Lebanese dollars, right?
So in my case, it's actually 100% in dollars. Before, when the economic crisis started, it was on 8,000, but now it's in full fresh dollars, and you see that it's really hard for people, and it was so shocking. So what happened is that they gave us a 40% grant for the first year for the people who are Lebanese and their parents reside in Lebanon. But however, we still know that this isn't enough. Like we know the average tuition fee is around $40,000, and it's equivalent to the tuition fee maybe in the US. So living here and just having our parents getting money only in the Lebanese liras, we know how hard this is on all of us, and we do feel it. That's why, and even if you see the amount of applications for the financial aid office here, it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. So, like the medical campaign and all of this, we work to contribute as we can, both financially, but also by supporting each other, by having a community of people that are here surrounding each other. We try to develop this family to support each other.
I bet it's very stressful on all of you. We have to remember that $1 right now equals 35,000 liras. So it's an unlimited amount of liras you have to make to pay the tuition, which is crazy. How did the idea come about? Maybe Jad just discussed it. What were you guys doing? Like you were sitting around, like, I don't know, doing something, and then you said, let's get it going with ideas. How did the idea come about?
Okay. Actually, back then, in April 2021, I used to give coding classes. I was in a company here in Lebanon that basically used to give coding classes. So I was a coding teacher. And basically, I woke up a day and I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing in the engineering field, even though I'm a medical student? So what I did is basically I literally did a PDF back then, like a very quick PDF. And I literally put like 6 classes. That was that. This is today. This is level 1. That will never change because like this is the start. Level 1 is called the human body, and it talks about the heart, the DNA, the immunity, the brain, the bones, and the digestive system. And I wrote a PDF and I sent it to one of my students that basically used to take coding classes. I remember this kid was in Qatar. I used to give him coding classes online. So I remember very well the first session I gave. The week after, I had like 7 students from Qatar having the classes together, and like each one of them paid the fees of the medical classes. So I was like, wait, okay, wait, that's something. We're doing something here. So the first thing I did is basically I talked to my friends, the medical schools, because like one of the first people I ever talked to was Amal, and so basically very directly we had a mini group, and then like we started giving medical classes. And then like we were like around 5, 6 at the time. And then like a month later, we couldn't anymore. So we're like 10. The month after 20. Now we're 50. and that's it. So like really, we weren't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it to bomb that quickly and that like well, you know what I mean? But like it did. And like everyone's loving our classes. I'm like, it's really impactful on the kids, on their parents, on us, on the family that we made. Like literally, if I tell you, for example, if someone's feeling bad on the group, they would talk on the group directly to the medical campaign. You know what I mean? Like it's something that we built. We built a community of medical students that are there for each other before the financial and everything side of the medical campaign. You know what I mean? So mainly that's it.
Basically, it was maybe you first, and then you started the idea, and then you talked to Amal, and then you started recruiting other students to come in with you and do the medical campaign and medical classes. Then how did you connect with students outside of Lebanon? How did that start, and how was the connection made?
Okay, actually, like Lebanese expats, they are the main reasons we have a lot of connections outside. So one person from Dubai, for example, a Lebanese expat from Dubai, and that Lebanese expat like knows 10 people in Dubai, and then those 10 people in Dubai knows 100 people in Dubai. And like this is exactly the same way in Canada, in the US, in Africa. We have a lot of students from Africa as well. From Kuwait, from Qatar, a lot of students from Kuwait, a lot of students from Qatar. This is basically, one person in the country, like actually you feel like you know the whole country. I don't have to explain it. It's just like the word is super big but super small at the same time. It's crazy.
So basically, which country did you guys start with first? I guess Qatar was probably the first one you started with, right?
Qatar was the first student that I ever gave to, but like we had a lot of, and then the second one was Egypt, and then like I sent the PDF to Lebanese people, and then like Kuwait was a bomb. Last year, Kuwait in July, like literally had 60, 70 students from Kuwait only. It was crazy.
I'm gonna ask now. I'm gonna go back to asking what kind of classes you're giving, but. So Jessica, for example, how did you get involved in this? Because I know Amal and Jad talked to each other and got involved, but how did somebody like you get involved in this, and like how and then how did the others get involved?
Okay, like to be honest, to give you the real story, I'm a childhood friend.
I only want the real story.
So we were literally in a cafe and we were literally talking, and he was like, why don't you get in with me in the medical campaign? And I was like, Okay, why not? And then I got stuck. Like literally, it's something you can get out of it. Like since we started, you keep on loving it more and more because the kids love you, you love the kids, the parents love you, you love the parents, and we are a community, like literally a real family. So when you see us together, you will want to be one of us. So this is why the medical campaign is really successful, because it's made of people that really support each other and have each other's back.
And especially since we know, yeah, since we know that med school is like, it's quite hard, and we know how hectic it is. Like now it's my year med one, and I see how hectic it is. But look, like now we're having this meeting with you, this podcast with you. Whenever we need each other, we're there for each other. It's like this tiny break where it's a win-win situation. We're helping each other, but we're also helping the students and applying the knowledge we're even learning now. Nowadays, we're giving it to also future students. And this will also help them in the future, not only like change now from school and learn about medicine, but also this will brighten up their future. Like they know from the start what medicine is, which we didn't know. Like alhamdulillah, I was born in a family of doctors, so I do know, I was exposed to the field of medicine and I know what it is before getting engaged in it. But people who don't know yet, or even kids, it's like this build up from the start that helps them know what their future will be about.
So Jessica, maybe talk to us about like what kind of medical classes do you typically give? And then the next question is, how old are the students?
All right. Now the students are from 4 to 16, and the classes, basically we have 8 levels, and each level is made of 6 sessions. Now each level talks about a specific topic. Like as Jad said, the first level talks about general knowledge, the body, the DNA, the heart, the brain, immunology, everything that is so general. And then we get into specific things, like level 2 is more about emergencies and stuff like that. And then we have levels about printed hearts and dreams and memories. Like it's a bit of everything. And each session is very special in its own way. Like each session is divided into 2 parts. A part where we teach the kids how everything works, how everything is inside their body, and we answer all their questions. And then the favorite part of the kids, which is the fun facts part. Like in each session, we give them fun facts. Even the parents haven't heard of any time in their life. So the parents will be enjoying the session, the kids will be enjoying the session, and you will love their reaction when you see it. Like their reaction are so priceless.
Jessica, try to give one of the fun facts.
Exactly.
All right. So let's give him the heart fun fact. If I remove my heart and I put it on the table, for how long do you think it will keep on beating for?
I don't know the answer to that, actually. What's the answer?
So the kids might say 0 seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds maximum. Well, it's actually 4 hours.
Okay.
And you can imagine their reaction when we say 4 hours beating on its own on the table.
Yeah, that is like, I mean, these are great facts. Like I didn't know it was 4 hours.
Yeah.
So that's a fun fact for me. I just learned something now. So basically, you're giving the sessions from like a low level to a high level. Are they based on age, or like if somebody is 15 years old, they can be doing the session with a 6-year-old who just started, I guess, because they both started at the same time?
No, it's based on age. If Jad wants to continue about the idea.
Okay, so basically, if you look at the website, we only have like 8 levels, and each has a topic, and the topics have sessions inside. Now, the thing is that this, like for example, the 16-year-old and the 6-year-old will basically like taking the same class, like let's say same topic, but not the same class, not the same details. For example, I may say this. For example, like we may say to a kid of 7-year-old that basically we love from the brain and not from the heart. And then like for a 16-year-old, maybe we can go for like talking about oxytocin and basically how this hormone like works in the heart, if you know what I mean. So mainly that's it. And basically we have like we can say that we have like 4 ranges of ages from 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12, 13, 16. But always it depends on the age. Like for example, there's a lot of 12-year-olds that basically can take even more. So like we give them more. We do not limit kids. We never limit kids. It depends on the kids always. You know what I mean? Like I remember like last week I had like I had like one of my students was like 4.5. I gave him a class of 7. You know what I mean? Why? Is because like he was something else. He was something else. So yeah.
So the goal is, I guess, to recruit kids who are interested in potentially eventually pursuing a career in medicine, or
No.
maybe recruit kids who just want some exposure to the biology field and the medical field.
Yes, exactly. We never want, like, we never ask for kids that want to go for medicine. We never tell our kids go be doctors. Never. Sometimes like we joke around calling them doctors, but that would never happen. Why? It's because we believe that basically for us, our job here is to expose them about the medical world, like for them to know what the medical world is about. If they like it, then we'll be more than happy to help them and to motivate them to get the medical school. But if they feel like maybe engineering or like laws or art or any other major in the world is better for them, or like they feel themselves more into it, then we'd even motivate them like and push them even more into it. We'd never push anyone into medical studies because like
and not
it's their personal choice.
And not only that, if we're giving medical classes, it's not to expose them only to the field of medicine, but exposing them to the field of medicine will actually also help them with like learning about viruses, about COVID. Why should they protect themselves from that? They should know the reason behind it. It's not only if they want to pursue a career in medicine, no, that's necessary. I think everyone, like even engineering people, should know about viruses, should know about protection, should know about many of the most important thing. It's just like stuff that are roaming around. As we know, as medical students, we do know about AI because AI is going to be implemented in medicine. But we do know this is a field that's related to computer science. Like it's just exposing ourselves to the knowledge that we're supposed to have. That's it.
So you guys have developed, I guess you have a strict curriculum that you follow, right? Basically, that you developed. And who looked, is it you guys who developed the curriculum, or do you have like mentors or physicians in the medical schools that have helped you develop that curriculum, I guess?
No, we have a team. We have a team for everything. So like we have a team for teachers, we call them brainers, and then we have a team for like curriculum writers, curriculum brainers as well, we call them. I have the brain, it's the main thingy in the medical campaign. So it depends. And basically like the most amazing thing is that we communicate with each other. Like the communication in the medical campaign is something, let's say, sacred. Why? Is because, for example, someone has to write the curriculum, someone's writing the curriculums, and then they send it to Jesse, for example, or to Amal. Amal like reads it and like goes around, okay, that's good, but that's not good. Can we let's adjust this? And like, for example, Amal takes the curriculum and she adjusts herself. You know what I mean? So like there's a huge teamwork, and that's the main thing about it. Like we're passionate about what we're doing, and like we never take this as a job, because like it's not a job. It's more like a favor. Like let's say, like for example, if Amal asks me to do something, I would do it not because like we are like, let's say, colleagues or something, because she's my sister. Literally, she's my sister. She's asking me for something, I have to do it, even though sometimes like you know what I mean. Just like literally like let's say siblings relationships.
So how many countries have you managed to be involved in right now in the campaign?
26.
26?
Yeah.
All right. Are they like so obviously it's a lot of them are probably part of the Gulf countries like the UAE, Qatar, Saudi, right? Egypt, and then are there others like Canada, the US, Australia?
Yeah. Australia, we had 2. Like literally, they finished their first level, and then they're gonna start their next level now. But like the problem usually with Canada and Australia and the States is the time difference. Yeah, because like for example, like we have like students in the States that like they take. It's 11 p.m. We give them 11 p.m., which basically is 4 p.m. in the States.
Right,
so it's 4 p.m. in the States. It's 11 p.m. in Lebanon. So we always manage to cover, but sometimes it's a bit hard.
And then when you teach these students, are they all sitting in class, or do you teach them separately at homes? Like it's more like private lessons for students at their houses?
It depends. It depends on kids.
The number of kids that you have, or the number of kids that have been recruited for that. What are some cool countries that you're teaching at that maybe we don't think that there's a lot of Lebanese in them?
Let's say we have students from Bulgaria. Like that was a shock for me. Now someone told me that like Bulgaria was like a shock for me. Yeah. And we have like one student from Serbia. She took 1 level. She really liked it, but like she has like, now she's 15, and they do something in Serbia. I don't know. They don't do the usual brevet, we call it in Lebanon. They do something else. and she couldn't continue. You know what I mean? But like she loved the classes. What else? We have like a lot of African countries, a lot of Congo, a lot of Ghana, a lot of Nigeria, a lot of those countries, a lot of Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. We're technically like everywhere, let's say. We are everywhere. That's the word.
And expanding. And how many
Wherever a connection can take us.
how many students right now are involved in the medical campaign, and from how many medical schools in Lebanon?
Right now, like you mean medical students?
Yeah.
Like we're more than 50. We're more than 50. Let me check the group.
Jessica or Amal, can you tell me like how many medical schools are involved in this?
Literally, we're all of them. Like 6, 7 out of 7, I guess.
So basically, you're doing this, one, to foster collaboration among the various medical schools and create like a community, a medical student community. But number two, you did it primarily initially for financial or easing the financial burden on your parents. And so how much, you don't have to tell me the exact number, but approximately how much money, let's say, have you raised so far, and how many students have been helped with this?
Okay, this is a very good question. The right amount we can, like literally we can't even say, because like it depends, because like literally we make a good income, but as well like the outcome is really huge. Last year we actually helped 6 plus 14 to 20 medical students to actually pay their tuitions, and we were able to cover all of them, which is really, really nice. But like usually like we focus on like covering, let's say, a bigger number than a bigger amount. Like for us, covering like 20% of many medical students is better than covering 100% of a small number. That way we can help a bigger amount of people basically cover their medical school fees.
Yes, basically you're covering people who are in the most need, I guess. One question I'm going to ask you is, how do you decide which students need to be helped? Is there an application way, or how is that decided?
Okay, there's many ways. Okay, there are students, we know them personally in the team. Like Jessica and Amal and I, we know them. Okay, so one, we help them. Two, there's another way. Actually, we're actually helping medical students. Is basically like we have the small team that basically we pay the school tuition, the medical school tuition, and then there's the bigger team. The bigger team, what do we do? Is we pay them on the hour. So for example, like they give a medical class and we pay them in fresh dollars, since we are getting paid in fresh dollars. And basically for them, it's a better deal than basically them going and finding a way to teach outside. So like we pay them on the hour in dollars. That like at the end of the month, like they have a strong, like let's say like a nice income that actually they can use for their medical school tuition. So like we have many ways to actually cover to help medical students, and actually we're always trying to find more.
And obviously any student who's going to be helped is going to be a student who helps you teach the classes, right? Like you're not going to help somebody who says, I'm not interested in helping, but I want to be helped in my medical school.
Let's say yes. Like at the end of the day, like medical campaign is our baby, and you want to like improve it, and you want to like make it like turn it into a very big adult, let's say. So like everyone that basically is going to help us take the medical campaign from a baby to an adult, basically we're going to help them as well, like, right? Yeah.
And how do you monitor? Like, let's say people are getting paid, right? Where supposedly this money should be going towards covering their medical school tuition, but how do you monitor? Like, what if somebody gets the money and goes like attends like several beach parties and spends the money on the beach parties? So
at the end of the day, like just like Jessica said, we are Lebanese people, and like when we say Lebanese, we mean party, and like even me and Jessica and Amal, we love to party. Like literally, sometimes like out of nowhere, I like literally it would have been like 3 weeks I didn't see Amal. We just like we're working without basically seeing each other. Out of nowhere, like I see her in a party in like I don't know, like the other side of Lebanon. And this is the nice thing of the Lebanese. Even though like there's crisis and stuff, we always manage to have fun, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like for example, now today, if someone like felt that basically he can't, like he's working at the end of the day. Like it's his efforts that he's putting into the medical campaign, and if his efforts, and like after a year of basically putting and like paying his tuition and studying and stuff, if you want to go to the party, let them go. We'd be more than happy. We'd literally join them. so really, we never worry about this. Like at the end of the day, like it's just like, yeah, what I was saying is basically you give and it gives you back, and it's amazing. That's it. It's amazing.
So maybe this is a question for Amal and Jessica. So what are some of the future endeavors, or how do you see the future of the medical campaign going at this point? Like what are some of your future plans that you're working on?
Okay, so basically the medical campaign is really getting bigger and bigger day by day. So we have so many plans, and you cannot imagine how big it's getting. Like every day we just get bigger, and just like out of nowhere, we don't know how. We don't know how our efforts are getting, like, I don't know how to explain it, but the feeling is amazing. And every day we have some good news, and Jad will be telling us some amazing news in the meetings, and we will be like, oh my God, we were not here last week, and now we're here. Like, can you imagine the thing? Like, now we're collaborating with so many schools and everything, and we're getting bigger all around the world. Like, it's not only in Lebanon, like we're building connections everywhere. And literally we're spreading, just like the virus spreads everywhere, we're a virus that's spreading everywhere.
The medical virus.
So basically your plans
But
at
in a
this
good
point
way.
yeah, exactly. Your plans at this point are continued growth, I guess, and maybe
Yes, definitely.
continued growth of the curriculum, I guess, too, at the same
Yeah,
time. Right?
of course, the curriculum always grows, and also growth to other countries. We're always open to many countries, and also trying to expand each person on its own, the connections that they have abroad. And hopefully you will also help us expand and know, like, for students to get to know us more, because that's really an amazing initiative. That's a win-win situation for everyone. But also, Jessica was giving during the summer classes and summer camps and Garderie, so live classes. So for now, our main platform is through online. It's through online platforms, through Zoom, because we know that the people are abroad. But hopefully also implementing constant classes that are going to take place live, and all the stuff related to that.
Are you planning any classes inside of Lebanon, like just to help the students in Lebanon, not necessarily for money, but more for volunteering, I guess?
Yeah. We have a lot of plans, actually. We have a lot of we actually can't say what we have in mind right now, but like we're gonna collaborate with like a huge NGO. We're gonna like donate medical classes to kids that basically cannot actually afford getting classes wise, because maybe like even if they can't afford education, sometimes they can't even afford like going to the hospitals and things. And the end of the day, like it's medical knowledge. It's something they can use, and they can literally like something they can touch, because like it's their bodies at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So like if they get to understand the information that we give them, they can help themselves, and they can help the community they actually are in. And maybe someday literally like take that and like get out of the community and shine everywhere. You know what I mean? Because like we believe in people. We believe in every single soul in the world.
When you're giving classes outside of Lebanon, do you usually try to do surveys or get feedback to try to improve upon the classes?
Yeah. We have a Google form. We send it to the parents, and like they fill it.
Man, you guys are well planned.
We try to think about everything, but there's always things that we don't think about. No, like it's crazy. Like they just open the door. Hello, I'm a problem.
So what's your advice, I guess, for high school students right now who want to get into medical school in Lebanon, who are concerned about their finances? What do you advise them to do?
So I'd advise them to, if they want to go for medicine, then they should go for it. And we're going to all help each other, support each other, and find a way to be able to finance this, because this, it's our future. It's what we want to do. If you want to do medicine, and if you love medicine, then you will shine bright, and you will excel. And related to the financial reasons and the financial issues, we will be able to help each other, whether it's through uni, whether it's through the medical campaign, whether it's through the constant support we have. We'll be able to go through it, hopefully, even though the tuition fees are really expensive.
Jessica, what's your advice?
Like, as Amal said, to continue her idea, like when there is a will, there's always a way. And we are Lebanese people. Like, we will always be here for each other. We always support each other, no matter what we go through, because nobody will understand what we're going through unless he's one of us. So that's why we are here for each other. And really, us teenagers always have big goals, and we should believe in those goals, because we can reach them.
Thanks to all of you for being on the podcast today. I mean, you guys are like a shining example of like the young people who probably hopefully will bring Lebanon back to the way it was before, despite everything that's happening. Because I mean, the way you're doing it is like you're giving hope to people, right? Like when people are like, "Oh, we can't do anything about it. It's so bad right now." You've been able to be entrepreneurs, devise methods to be able to collect and make the money to help people go through their medical education, and that's very important. I can see it. I mean, now you were able to help 20 students last year. Looks like with the growth that you're having right now, you probably will be able to help maybe 40 next year, and then maybe even more the year after. And it looks like
We hope so. We really hope so.
Exactly. Just like looking, if Jad started at the beginning on his own during the pandemic, after the economic crisis explosion, he was on his own. And now we're over 50 medical students from Lebanon helping each other and giving classes to people from 26 countries in less than a year. All of that growth was within 1-2 years. Then imagine having even more time. What can we do? And with more people and with more contributions and with more exposure, just like you're doing now. So thank you so much.
Thank
then,
you.
Yeah. Then we hope we get to somewhere like that's even huge than what it is now.
All right.
It gives really hope.
Thank you, Jad. Thank you, Amal, and thank you, Jessica, for being on the podcast. And also thank you to the more than 50 students who are contributing to this campaign at this time.
Thank you. We bring you.
All right.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Pleasure.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.